Hey everyone, thanks for joining us today for Let's Talk. We're going to talk about easy research and note-taking using Google Apps. There's some really cool functionality that's available to us. A lot of people don't know about it though, especially for students who need to cite different sources, who need to have links to documents and stuff. We're actually going to be able to show you how they can do that right from within either Google Docs or from Google Slides. Joining me today is a couple of gentlemen that you're probably familiar with, but I'll let them introduce themselves, starting with John, please.
Good morning. I'm John Colson from the Computer Science Department at McEwen University.
Okay, and I'm Gilles Theriault from Red Deer Public School District at Lindsay-Turber High School.
Excellent. Thanks for joining me. And my name is Trevor Beck. I'm the web Google evangelist here at McEwen University. And today we're going to look at documents and stuff. So I'm going to start off by sharing my screen here. And I apologize in advance for the wow effect. And this is a document that I've created in Google Docs. And what I want to do is show how the research tool is available or can work with you. Now, I'm just going to highlight this movie shot in Alberta here because this is the document I'm working on, but I need to take a look, do some research, add some citation. Normally what people would do is go and open a new tab up or a new browser window and start playing around with that. But if you go to Tools and you select the Research tool or button there, this toolbar comes up here for research. And I'm just going to go up to everything here. If I happen to have this text highlighted already, it will do a search for it. This is just like opening a new tab or opening up a new window, except I don't have to leave. All the stuff is right here. So it makes life really, really easy for us to find information. Now, you'll notice in this document here, I talk about how here in Alberta, there's been a lot of different movies shot here, Interstellar, The Bourne Legacy, Unforgiven. I've actually gone through and I have looked at the IMDb here. So if I go into the preview, it's going to show me this link. Obviously, I can't read that, so if I click on this link here, it's just going to open a new tab where I can go into the actual web page itself. But here I can quickly look and see this is a list of stuff. That's kind of what I want. And I had gone through there. I had imported a bunch got a bunch of information. And there's the list there. Now, what I want to do is I want to cite the fact that I went to that document. So you'll notice I put my cursor here. So movies that have been shot here. And I'm just going to click on the button here that says Cite. Now, I'm not sure if you can see it. I'm going to enlarge my screen here. But you notice a little 1 has been put in place there. And if we go to the bottom, it's actually taken and cited that website. So there's IMDb, there's the date there, and there's a link to it as well. So we can quickly, as we're doing our research, do the citation and add that in there. Now the first question a lot of people say is, Trevor, what format are we citing in? Well, if we take a look at this link here, I can do MLA, I can do APA, or I can do Chicago. So when the students are doing their assignments, they know which one of these methods of citation or formats of citation they're supposed to be using. They can quickly select that, and the document will update and will ensure that that citation is in that exact same format. The nice thing, too, about it is if I go in, I'm just going to throw another citation in here just for the heck of it. And I'll just throw this citation here. Notice this is number 1. I'm going to throw in one here. And from the Huffington Post, so we'll insert the site. It renumbers automatically. So the student doesn't even have to worry about numbering style. It's going to look after all of that. And again, it adds that information down at the bottom. Really quick, really easy, really handy. Now, at the search function here, you'll notice there's different things that we can search for. We can search for everything, or I can say, hey, you know what? I just want to search for images. And there's all a bunch of images that have something to do with movies shot in Alberta. So I'm going to take this and cursor right here, and I need a nice, good picture here. Let's go and just insert that there. Now, I didn't have to go out to any website. I did it directly from in here. And it takes a little while to load. I can click on this, and I can go in, and I can crop this image if I want. Make it look a little tighter. I can wrap the text. So it looks pretty good. But notice there's a 1 that got thrown up there. It also is citing where the photo came from. So again, we know where these pictures are coming from. It's updated the numbers here, 2 and 3 for the other citation. Really, really handy and really easy to do. And for the students, there's not really much that they have to worry about once they've got their preferences set up. I'm going to go back here under everything. And this link here that we were using for IMDb, that's a really good link. So I'm just going to insert the link here. And I can rename this if I need to, or whatever I want. But this is the title that it's called there. Of course, it comes with Calgary. But those are the really easy tools that we can make use of here in the research. There's also one. I mean, we've got images. We've got Scholar, which looks at different books that have been made available. Quotes, dictionary. I can even look at tables. So if someone has built a table, so example here, I can look at this table and quickly go through and find the different tables. And in this case, I can look through 1960-61, look at Golden Gloves, and who the director was, the genre. So there's lots of information that's been created already in a table format that I can go through. And again, I can cite it, or I can even export it, which allows me to take this and bring this into Google document as a separate Google Doc. So it's not a spreadsheet that's just laying there somewhere. I actually get a copy of it for myself. That's the research tool in a kind of a quick overview. Do you guys have any questions on any of that?
Just Trevor, just a quick question just to make sure. When you insert the pictures, is this Creative Commons right away, or is it copyrighted?
I think you would have to go through and select these items here, right? Yep. So, I mean, I'll go into images here and see what we have for options. Yep. So, no filter, there's a little blurb on usage rights. So, I mean, I could easily go to free to share. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that everyone sees that.
Yep, thank you, I appreciate that. Okay, so that's this section of the presentation that I want to talk about. So the research tools, really handy for the students and stuff. There's no reason that they shouldn't be able to get all their information in. The other research part of things I want to talk about is books. And I'm going to start off here by looking at play.google.com/books. Google allows you to store books on their service. You can also buy books from them. You can download free ones. You could upload ones. So for example, if your instructor has created an ePUB book or even a PDF, you can upload those items here. The one thing I really like about it is that regardless of what device you're using, your reading progress is synced. So for example, I have books that I will read on my iPad, but then when I'm out and about, I'll pull out my phone and start reading them as well. The reading progress is always synced. In the past, I've always had to email or do a search or something like that to find that progress, and it was a real pain to try and coordinate that. Here, Google looks after all of that, and it's really, really nice the way it does that. This is my iPad. So I'm going to go in and show you something cool here under the settings. So this is the Google document, but actually let me just go back out here. So this is the Google Books service. Under the settings, there's a piece here that says sync highlights and notes to Google Drive. Now this is a service you have to turn on the mobile device, but once you do that, you're going to get a document that takes all the items that you've highlighted and all the notes you've selected and put them into a separate Google document. And I'll show you why this is so cool when this happens. So I'm going to go back into my book here. And typically, so here I am, I'm on my iPad right now. I'm just going to highlight a piece of text here. I'm going to try and highlight a piece of text here with the big fingers I have. So I can highlight it with a color. So I'm going to highlight red there. So this is something about shoes. And then on one winter night, I'm going to highlight a piece of text. And I'll put some, whoa, Trevor went the wrong way. I'll put a note in here that says, was he cold? Now, we've all had books, whether they're paper books or electronic books, that you've gone through and you've had to come back and try and find your stuff. So you end up constantly going through all the pages till you find something in red or something that you've highlighted in yellow. So there's like pages and pages that you have to flip through before you get to the content that you're interested in. Let me just double check, make sure that note is there. I'll just put another note here, we'll just call it test. And it's done. Okay, so what's happening now is this stuff is actually going to get synced to this piece here. Now remember, I'm here, this is my iPad. Over here we're on Google Play or Google Books. So let's open this up. And there's all that information that we've highlighted. Okay? And if we don't need to see that, so let's skip that. And if I click on there, there's whatever text I happen to have. Now, if I knew that I had other pieces in there, I could go and I could look through my contents. And are there any books? Nope. Did I make some notes? Yeah, I've actually made some notes somewhere else. And I would have to click on these to go there. A lot of times people end up doing this kind of stuff, trying to find them. But the problem is now, wouldn't it be cool if we could take all this stuff here and throw it into one document? And actually, that's exactly what Google does. So let me just go back a step here. In my Drive, when I set up that setting, it creates a folder called Play Books Notes. And when I go in there, any books that I'm reading, it takes those notes, everything that we've been looking at, and brings them into a document. Okay, so this is great. So here's the name of the book. There's a document. There's a little warning here that tells you that every time you make changes, it updates this document here. But look at that. Soon a man came to buy some shoes. So it went with the work, and there's my comment test. And I've had other comments here too that are farther down, like page 12 and page 58, that if I had to scroll through the document to find them would take me forever. But here I've got everything exactly where I want it, and I don't even have to worry about trying to search through it. There it is. So this is obviously the information that I've highlighted is the stuff that's important to me, that's going to help me remember what I need for my tests and stuff. If I'm not sure of the context of this, there's a link here that I can click on. I'll use this one. I click on that. It's going to open up that book in the Google Play and take me right to that comment or that highlighted piece of text. And this stuff will also be synced. Anything that I highlight in here, after a while, if I go in here and add a note, too late, it eventually will get synced to this item over here, which is on my iPad, and as well, it will update into here as well. That is Google Play, and that and the books version of that. And that to me is like really, really cool capability that it has. Questions, gentlemen? Comments?
No, that was really, really great to see that.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, for me, always love that one. For me, I love the fact that the syncing is actually for your reading progress. Is the syncing happens between your two different devices or three different devices in my case. That to me makes it really handy. That I can pull out whatever device I'm working on. But I mean, I wish when I went to school I was able to do that highlighting and have a document created, because it would just save so much time to put everything over there in that one document. Now, one of the things I just want to remind everyone is, if this is my Google document and this is my ePUB, if I go into my Google document and added some extra notes and stuff, anytime I add something to my ePUB, it automatically resyncs stuff and will overwrite whatever it is notes that you've put on there. So what I would recommend is, if you're doing it chapter by chapter, you go through, make your links in your chapter. When you're done that chapter, go to the Google Doc, make a copy of it, and say chapter 1. That way you can go in, you can share with other people, you can use your own comments that are built into the Google Docs and stuff like that, and it won't overwrite that. Because as you go to chapter 2 now, anything that you highlight and stuff will overwrite the original document to keep it up to date. Does that make sense, everyone?
That's a good tip.
Cool, excellent. That's all I got. I mean, nice and short, but I mean, to me, these are some of the most powerful tools for research that we can give our students and that we can use ourselves. So by all means, please make sure you let your students know about it. I know there's a lot of teachers that are using Google Docs and Google Slides. The research tool also works in Google Slides, but they're not necessarily aware of this, or their students aren't necessarily aware of the research tool. So please, by all means, let them know, share this video, whatever. And that's pretty much it for this Hangout. So thanks for taking the time to join me, and we will see you guys again soon.